Hi, this is Kendra from Pencil and Pigment, and today I am going to be doing a draw with me, create with me video. I am doing World Watercolor Month. I will throw up the prompt list. I am doing the one from Doodle Wash. I love their stuff. They're very organized. They do a prompt list every single month. They post them on Instagram in case you're curious. Today is Saturday, July 26th. So the prompt today is C, S-E-A-C. So I decided in my infinite wisdom that I am going to draw a seabird. However, I am doing trees. Like the bulk of my illustrations, this was yesterday's, like there's tree with the birds. So how do I draw like the tree and then do a seabird? So I have found the perfect solution. Yeah, we're going to talk about the marbled murrelet, and this is a really cool seabird from the Pacific Northwest. And what this bird does, well, I'm going to start drawing. So I have my Rotring Isograph. I have brown ink in here. The watercolors I'm using, it's a lot of Daniel Smith. So I have Lunar Earth, Lunar Black, Cobalt Teal Blue, and then I'm using Da Vinci's Burnt Umber. So I'm able to create kind of a green with the Lunar Earth and the Cobalt Teal. So kind of yellow, kind of blue, kind of makes green. All right, and you can see it's very granulating watercolors. So you can see even in my palette, they pull apart. Isn't that cool looking? They separate. So very fun creating with granulating colors. It helps add texture a little bit easier. So I'm going to get to drawing, and I'm going to draw this bird. And I made it very difficult for myself because that's how I roll. So, okay, the marbled murrelet. This is a really cool bird. They have web feet. They definitely like dive down. I know I filled this ink yesterday, so we should be good. They dive down to sort of escape predators and stuff. And they're actually like white and dark black-ish, except when they start nesting. And they nest in trees. They nest in old growth forests, which is partly why, yeah, they're endangered. So I think there's, according to the last numbers I looked up, there's about 4,000, maybe 5,000 left. They only lay one egg, but they turn this really like beautiful marbled brown colors. I will throw up pictures because I can only talk about this so much, and then you're like, I want to see, because we're all visual. That's why we're here. We're visual folks, and we like the art, and we like the photos, and we like all the things. So they turn this really pretty marbled brown color when they go to nest in the forests, and they're really hard to find. They're really hard to see. Like everything about them is just really cool. I will link a cool video from Department of Fish and Wildlife where they're talking about some of the facts about this bird. But I dig them. They're just really, really unique. Like, they only lay one egg. Again, they're a seabird that nests in the forest, but they don't like build nests. Does that make sense? They kind of like find out, this is my moss. They kind of find like a mossy area to sort of bed down in. And they make sure that there's some sort of cover, like a moss above. So they're hidden from predators. They kind of freeze up. It kind of reminds me of like a playing possum. They freeze up and they sort of hunker down when they're scared. And they sort of fly out and fly in at dusk and dawn. So they're really hard to see. They're really hard to find. Again, they blend in. They blend in with the trees and stuff because they're that brown color when they're nesting. I don't know. I think they're just really, really cool. I love the whole idea of being like a seabird that like needs to hang out in the forest too. Like they're getting the best of both worlds, and I'm here for it. So yeah, there aren't a lot of really good photos of them nesting, like that are high quality, just because again, they're so hard to find and they're so elusive. And I will link things. There's an artist, let's see if I can find it. Okay, her name is Laurel Monday, and she did this plumage change, like illustration, that's really, really cool. And you can see that like the baby chick even has like a different color pattern on on their body. Like everything about them is just really, really neat. And I'm here for it. So I've kind of limited myself when doing this drawing challenge. I'm not drawing any flightless birds, and because I'm drawing things that exist in trees, not a lot of seabirds. So I'm not doing things like loons or things that just hang out in the water, because how would I draw my tree? You know what I mean? So this is the happiest medium I could find. I have never seen one. I would love to see one. I'm trying to figure out how I would love to see one. I just don't think that's a thing that's gonna happen. And with habitat loss of the old growth, like it's really, really hard for some of these birds to make their way and get their things done. You know what I mean? Keep breeding, keep going. They can only protect so much forests with certain things. I really hope though that with conservation efforts and with the knowledge and with the different stuff that people recognize how like special and unique this bird is. They're not good at walking, again, because they have webbed feet, so their mobility isn't good. And then when they feed, like when their baby hatches, they bring fish from the ocean. So, but they carry like little tiny fish, like anchovies and stuff, so they can feed their baby, which is really cool. And then when their baby's ready to fly, it heads out to the ocean and finds other like juveniles and finds his friends, and they all hang out together, which again, the programming in a bird's brain to like automatically know where to go and what to do is just fascinating to me. There's so much of birds that I find like very, very interesting. So anyway, I just thought I would talk a little bit about this bird. I haven't really chatted about birds in a while. I did like Vlogtober one year that was all drawing birds. And so I went for the sort of more colorful ones, the ones that have interesting plumage, the ones that are just like, just gripping visually. But in doing so, you miss out on all the really cool like brown birds. And I'm here for the brown birds. And I'm here for the birds that live really unique lifestyles, you know? So I'm just gonna be drawing away. I already watercolored a portion. And their feet. Their webbed feet are pretty far back. They're really far back. So, and I'm gonna be binding on this side, so I'm gonna lose part of this illustration, but that's okay. I'm just having fun. This July has been, I don't know how to explain it. July's been a train wreck, personally, with all this stuff going on. We have a lot of autoimmune diseases in our house, and sometimes things go crazy. Sometimes things get worse. So I've been dealing with that, and in dealing with that, I haven't had time to even acknowledge that I'm doing a drawing challenge and like a creating challenge and like acknowledge the time and the effort and stuff for this. So I've just been sitting down and not even realizing that I'm almost even done with this challenge because I haven't really acknowledged it. Like I didn't really make, sometimes most of the time I make notes and I go into my drawing challenges with notes and ideas and things. And with this one, I just kind of was like, okay, I don't have time to make notes. I don't even know what my notes would be. I know I wanted to watercolor trees and I wanted some birds in there because birds are like my comfort drawing. They're something I'm very familiar with. So I didn't make a list, and it's basically the night before I look at what the prompt is for the next day, and I go in my bird book and I try and figure out what would be a good bird, and that's it. I don't give it a lot of time. It doesn't get a lot of my mental like bandwidth here because I just don't have time to give. So this has been a very unique drawing challenge in that the watercolor for some of these have been quicker. whether I decide I'm drawing like a chunk of tree or I'm just drawing the branches that the bird sits in or perches in, the times have been varying. So some of these have taken like from start to finish, like maybe 45 minutes. Some maybe have taken an hour and a half. I haven't timed anything. I haven't looked at anything. I've just been sitting down and trying to relax and just draw, because I find drawing to be a very great stress reliever. And July has been very, very stressful. It's also been very cold. Currently right now it's 61 degrees with 87% humidity. So it's definitely warmer today than it's been for most of the month, which is kind of nice. So I might go outside and get some gardening done. Our blackberries are going to be ripe next month, and I want to make sure those are looking good, prune the bits I can. Blackberries just fill in and take over. They will grow in your lawn. They do not care. So I need to make sure that they're doing all right. And then we can pluck and harvest and then dehydrate them and powderize them and have them for the year for drinks and different things to add blackberries to. We freeze some and do like blackberry pies in the winter, but freezing doesn't last as long as dehydrating does. So yeah, I know. This is where I'm at this month. Like looking at this really cool seabird that insists on nesting in old growth forests. Looking at our garden. And trying to deal with all the health issues in the house. Oh, July. Oh, July has been, it's been messy. July's been a wreck. But the greatest thing is it's almost over. And I don't have to do it ever again. So that's kind of cool. And I'm hoping August calms down. And I need to look and see what sketchbooks I've left. I don't have a lot left. And then figure out if I'm going to do another really structured drawing challenge like this one, or do what I did, when I did my huge lectern. Was that May? I don't know. Or June? Where I just sort of drew, I filled an A4 lectern and drew what was ever, kind of on my mind, and there was no real theme. It was just kind of chaos. And I incorporated everything that interests me. People, animals, all this stuff. So I definitely need to sit down with myself and figure out where I'm at. Now that I have a minute to breathe and get things done. I've been doing two things at once for so many days in a row. It feels weird to only do one thing. Absolutely wild. Anyway, I will link a little informational video if you want to know a little bit more about these birds, why they're so special and unique. I think I kind of covered it though. I mean, if you're interested in that kind of thing. Birds are just really, really cool. I don't know what to tell you. They're just a really cool kind of thing. And this paper has gold in it. I don't even know if you can see the shimmer. Anyway, it looks like he's wearing hair. Are you wearing hair? Okay. Yep, these are my birds. This is my tree. This is what I've done for today. And so they would lay like a single egg right here. But I'm not doing any eggs in this challenge. So that's all right. That'll be okay. And you can see some of this drawing is real quick. Like I'm not doing hyper realism here. I'm just sort of relaxing and hanging out and I don't know, doing my best. We're doing my best. So I hope your July is going well. I hope it's been relaxing and fun for you. If you're doing a art challenge of any kind, I hope it hasn't been too stressful or too much. You can always, if you're doing a drawing challenge and you find that the prompts are too much and it's just the act of creating every day that you want to get into the habit in, don't worry about the prompts. Or if the prompts are boring, change them up, create your own. Or maybe you want to do an every other day challenge or a once a week challenge, or just to add 5 extra minutes to your routine. So if you typically draw like 10 minutes a day, maybe you want to draw 15 minutes and add a little bit of extra, do some warm-up exercises, add that in, or something relaxing, and have it stack that to something else. Okay, these are my birds. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.